Well, my fellow adventurers, welcome back to Living the Grand Adventure. My name is Kevin. Today, I actually just finished up my 46 climbs backpacking trip over at Spruce Knob. And as I told you in that trip, that series of videos, that I was coming over to Dolly Sods. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dolly Sods. It's really busy. Quite a few cars here, so I guess I'm gonna have some guests at least the next couple of nights. It is Friday, so I kind of expected that. But I parked down here in a little bit of an overflow area. This is where I wanted to park, but it's kind of full. So I actually just pulled up over there, no big deal. Just be aware, if you come out to this particular parking lot, it's about 4 miles of a climb on a dirt road in first gear. My Jeep, the transmission was kind of howling at me a little bit at the end. The temp come up. Let's go over here and take a look here. Get the full experience. Looks like they do want you to register, so I'll go ahead and do that real quick. Well, just what I wanted to see, guys. A path of stone. Wouldn't be so bad. If I hadn't hiked Spruce Knob, it'd be like this the whole way too. I know this will even out, it won't be so bad. I knew that the beginning of this trail would be like this, and the end of it, because this is where I'm coming out at. But we are good. Just gonna have views all over the place, I got a feeling, guys. I'm pretty sure anytime I've seen anything online about Dolly Sods, it's supposed to be just view after view after view. So I'm going to enjoy myself. But I'm gonna make my way over to the campsite tonight. It's about 1.5 miles estimated. Hopefully I can find somewhere in that vicinity to camp near that water supply that's supposed to be there. If not, I'll have to move on, grab water and keep trucking, I guess, because it depends on who's camping where tonight. I got in here a little bit later than I wanted to, but that's okay. Nothing happens, I should still be at site by 5, which plenty of time to set up firewood and maybe relax a little bit. I've actually already hiked give or take 8 miles. I'll have to calculate when I get home. I don't have great GPS service here and not really worried about factoring it out. So 8 to 10 miles already today, and now I'm doing this, so yay. The ground is very, very dry, guys. It's almost unbelievable. I'm hoping my water sources I have picked out are reliable. They're supposed to be, but it is very dry up in here. I've only seen one spot that is a little damp, and you can tell people make tracks around these areas because I would assume this gets muddy. It's not even remotely muddy now. It's actually dusty. A lot of rocks. It's not as bad as Spruce Knob, or at least I'm handling it better. Maybe I'm just kind of eager to get over to site for the night and get set up and maybe get a few hours relaxation before I head to bed for tomorrow. But guys, it is a beautiful area. I'm already really liking it. You got hills out this way, some rock formation, mountains, and then these open meadows. It's really neat. And I know on the southern end it's supposed to be more forested, so that's gonna be kind of cool. I kind of did a pretty large loop here to try to see most of the ecosystem that Dolly Sods has to offer. And of course, I had to start with the rocky area. I did have the option to start at the southern area, but I chose this one, and the rest is history now. So 1.6 miles, and I'm in at site for the night. It's actually exactly where I had picked on the map, so it's kind of cool. Nice pine forest. This is really kind of neat. And there's a nice water source right here. This is Red Creek. So I'll be getting water out of there. May even get it right here just because it's right beside the site and it is flowing. It's not like it's stagnant. I'll see what the color looks like. Then I'll determine whether or not I want to do that. But yeah, in a pine forest for the night, guys. There's already a little bit of wood laying here. I'm going to try to get some of it chopped up and ready to go. Do me a nice fire tonight. Just relax. But I'm here. I'm going to go ahead and get a few things done. I'm probably going to filter water first. Get that done so I don't have to worry about that for the night. I'll probably have to do a little bit in the morning depending on what trails I decide to take. And then I'll probably work on wood. I'll probably get the wood done and then slap the tent up. The tent only takes 5 minutes. It don't take long at all. Get it all set up and then I'll be in for the night, guys. Well, guys, it's about 20 after 6. I've got everything set up for the night. X-Bed is over there. Pretty much the only flat spot I had. I've got this set up as my cook area and everything. Bear line is about 120 feet that direction. I don't have a lot of wood tonight, guys. It's slim pickings around here. You know, established sites at a very popular area right beside a creek. It's picked over. There's wood laying here, but it's all wet. It's just not usable, really. This is basically all that I found that's usable, and you know, it's a 20-minute fire, guys. You get it started, it's going out. So I'm just probably going to skip a fire tonight. Unfortunately, I had not planned on doing that. I wanted to get a fire tonight. First night at Dolly Sods, but it's not going to happen. I've seen like 3 groups come through. 2 of them were day hiking. The other group was over that direction, hiking along the creek. They came to here and then went back. So I don't know if they're backpacking and maybe looking for a site and had seen something better back that way. I know these 2 sites I didn't care for. This one wasn't bad, but it's just I like being elevated above a creek versus down beside it more like that. So, and this is on a bank and stuff. So, I mean, if animals are going to come drink at the creek, they're going to be on the other side more than likely. They're not going to be on this side. So, and if it would happen to rain, which there is a possibility of that in the morning, it's all going to flow down away from me. So, that's why I decided to do that. But, yeah, slim pickings on the wood. So, probably going to do dinner here in a few minutes. I'm starting to get a little hungry, a little peckish. But other than that, I'm done for the night. Just going to relax till probably about time it gets dark, which will probably be about 8:15, maybe 8:30. Sun is going down behind this hill here. So there's a good chance that it's going to get dark pretty soon, pretty early. So I'm figuring, you know, 8:15 even. Very pretty area. So I was hoping to find a campsite out in the open, kind of like this, or maybe on the edge of the tree line, something like that, where it'd be more open, could see the sky a lot better. Nope, I'm back in the woods. It's okay. You'll notice, literally, I'm walking this way, and it's almost dark in here somewhat. I mean, it'll be daylight enough to see for a little while, but yeah, I was hoping to have something where I could be out in the open a little bit better. I believe there's actually a site about a mile that direction, but I was kind of done hiking for the day, and I'd hate to actually. For one, I'd had to fill up water, so that would have been put me carrying 3.5 liters of water up that elevation to that site. But 2, I'd hate to pass this site up, which is a nice site. Just wish it had more wood. But I'd hate to pass it up and the next site be not so good. So this is site for the night, guys. Let's get some dinner going. Well, guys, I've got my dinner soaking right now. Boiled up 1 cup of water, which is pretty cool because considering most backpacking meals take 2 cups. This is Backpacker's Pantry. It's the 3 cheese mac and cheese. A creamy blend of pasta, cheddar, parmesan, and Romano cheeses. So yeah, I'm gonna try that tonight. It's something new. Got it off Amazon. It was only actually 10 bucks, so not too bad. A lot of times you buy those online and they run 14, 15 bucks, so it's kind of cool. Go ahead and start stowing stuff away and be ready when I get done with dinner. I can get the bear line up and be done for the night and go ahead and lay down, guys. At least stretch out. I'll be massaging some muscles, probably read on my Kindle, a few things like I said, but I'll be ready to lay down at that point in time. But I'm going to try to get some of this stowed away real quick before I do eat, and I should be good to go.
Cold front approaching from the upper Ohio River Valley will cross the mid-Atlantic through Saturday. A large area of high pressure will follow for much of next week. Now for the official National Weather Service forecast for eastern West Virginia and the central Shenandoah Valley. So
guys, when I'm on trail and I'm in areas that I don't have cell signal and I can't check like AccuWeather or something like that, this is how I actually get my weather. I suggest, going out, this is not a bad idea, to have one of these, especially in areas that it can get bad. Dolly Sods is known to actually have some bad weather sometimes. It's just a basic little NOAA radio. Has the weather band, but it also has AM and FM as well. So, if there happens to be an emergency in the area, flash flooding, whatever, I can actually get that on here versus cell signal. Because, here at Dolly Sods, I don't have cell signal, but I can still check the weather. And as you heard, it's supposed to be pretty cool the next couple of nights. Maybe a touch of rain tomorrow. I'm hoping we don't see that. But yeah, I'm getting ready to I'm finishing up dinner now. I've been eating on it a little bit. Actually, that 3-cheese mac and cheese is really good, just so you guys know. I do have a couple others we'll be trying out here. Some new stuff that I've never had before, so that's going to be awesome. Slowly starting to get dark, guys. Going to start wrapping things up shortly. Well, guys, night has pretty much fallen here at Dolly Sods, and I've got everything kind of squared away. I've got my bear line up with the bear bag taken care of. Most of my stuff is put up and taken care of. I've got a few things left out. I found me a little spot at the campsite where I can actually get a view out this direction of the sky. So I've kind of put my chair there. I'm going to kind of look at the stars for a little while, just relax. I've got myself a little cup of tea, non-caffeinated, and I'm going to enjoy that. I just figured since it was getting dark, I'd walk out this direction, out from underneath the canopy of trees, and just tell you guys good night. I'll see you in the morning. I'm signing off for the night. I'll see you bright early in the morning for day 2 here at Dolly Sods. We'll see what we'll get into. Hopefully it's not raining. Day 2 here at Dolly Sods. It is a wet, soggy, cooler morning. Temperatures got down into the mid 40s last night, so it's pretty cool this morning. It is about 8:30, so a little bit later than I wanted to be. I wanted to actually be on trail by this time. I took a lull in the rain, and I've actually broke down most of the campsite and ate breakfast, so I shouldn't be too much longer getting on trail. 9 o'clock at the latest. And yeah, it's pretty soggy, pretty wet, and still a good night. I slept really well. Had some neighbors. They actually were right across the creek right over here, and they bounced out about a half an hour ago or so. About the time I actually got out of the tent, they packed up and were gone. Seen a number of people actually come through this morning. Heard a couple of groups go by earlier before I got out of the tent, and I've seen 3 come by since I got up, so that's in the last half an hour. So I got a feeling that I'm going to see quite a few people throughout the day, and that's perfectly fine. And anybody that I've seen, they're backpacking. They have the larger packs, they have tents, things like that. You can see the tents on the outside of the pack, things like that. But I'm going to go ahead and finish getting packed up, and we're going to get on trail hopefully in the next 15-20 minutes, guys. Alright guys, I'm on trail now. It's a little after 9, so not too bad. Just over an hour pack up and breakfast. I did scope out that trail where everybody was coming from. The 3 or 4 groups I saw, a couple yesterday, a couple today. And I couldn't figure, I mean, I saw the trail, but it's very undefined. And I was like, that may even lead over to a campsite or 2 or 3. So I just figured I'd come back and get on an established trail. So I'm hiking a little ways back the way I came from, and there was a division up here, and I'm gonna hop on that trail and head south towards my next campsite. You can notice it's misting right now. I'm hoping it kind of clears off this afternoon like they said yesterday on the weather forecast. I listened to it this morning, that's what they said. So I guess we'll see what happens. All right guys, I'm on the Dobbin Grade Trail. It's notoriously wet. Supposedly, you know, especially as you move further south on it, that it gets extremely wet. I'm hoping to avoid that because I'm looking for the Upper Red Creek Trail. That will take me further south towards my next site that I'm hoping to hit. And it is 2 miles from the division back there, so not too bad. Basically 2 miles from my campsite. It's 1.9 from the division, so shouldn't be too bad to get to that trail. And then we'll go from there on what we're doing for the rest of the day. This doesn't bode well, guys, already. I mean, it's not muddy, but yeah. Luckily, it didn't rain heavily this morning. The forecast earlier in the week was stating that it was supposed to rain like an inch last night. That kind of straightened up and cleared up a little bit, and I'd say we maybe got 1/10 of an inch this morning. But 1/10 of an inch does mean the trail is a little bit damp. Shoes are already damp. My pants are damp too. They'll dry off though, especially if the weather does hold and it clears up this afternoon and gets into the mid-60s. Even low 60s would be nice. I've still got my rain jacket on, and that's partially for warmth, but also just to keep the dampness off my chest and core of my body. That way I can keep my internal temperature up. You know, not worried about hypothermia or anything like that on this trip right now, but you know, I just don't want to be chilly. I am actually kind of sweating though. It's one thing with the rain jacket, you do get hot even in cooler weather. But with it misting, I chose this over my hoodie because the hoodie would just get saturated and weigh me down for one. And two, apologize if the wind's cutting in. I've got the mic and everything stowed away because they're not waterproof, just to be on the safe side. But as I was saying, the hoodie would just weigh me down and just get wet and saturated, and that wouldn't be no fun. All right guys, this is what the trail's looking like. More rocks, guys. Seems to be the theme for this whole trip, between yesterday and the day before at Spruce Knob, coming in here yesterday, and then now this. Seems like it's just the topography of eastern West Virginia, which, you know, I've actually been in before a while back, but it's definitely been years. there have been parts of the Dobbin grade trail so far that I've done that definitely in like wet weather, like April, May, would probably be pretty nasty and underwater. This section is once again a bunch of rock skipping and hopping, and my feet aren't happy. It's okay. I mean, I kind of expected some of this. I just didn't. Well, I didn't expect Spruce Knob to be like it because none of my research pointed to a lot of rocks. It is about 9:30 now, and it's just a overall mist in the air. When the wind blows, it comes in a little bit harder, but just misting, just enough to keep everything damp. The sun actually peeked out for just a second right after I left site, and then it went away. And like I said, now I don't know if you can even see it on the GoPro, but it's just a light mist. This is a pretty area. I'm really digging it. And if you could tell, some of the leaves are actually starting to change already. You know, first week in September. I think today's the 7th, so that's kind of interesting. That definitely tells you that the elevation is a little bit higher here, and that it does get cooler much quicker here. Yeah, it's raining a little bit harder now. I hope I don't see this all day. I mean, if I do, I do. No big deal. It's just, I was hoping, wow, look at that. That is pretty, just pretty area. Rolling hills and everything. It's pretty nice. A little bit different than Ohio. I mean, even in eastern Ohio, there's the wind again. Even in eastern Ohio, it's, you know, they've got hills, but you don't get this rolling effect where it's hill after hill, and then you've got the long flat valleys like you do here in eastern West Virginia. It's pretty nice. Yeah, but I'm moving right along. I passed the Beaver Dam Trail maybe a half a mile ago. Still heading out towards the Upper Red Creek Trail. That's my next turnoff. And that'll start taking us more south towards where we want to be for tonight. So the trail comes from over there, ladies and gentlemen. It continues over there. Dobbin grade, live it up to its name here. Yeah, I'm a little dirty, a little wet. Yeah, what fun. But I do still get these views. Beautiful area. I wish it was sunny, but I get to cross this, guys. Here we go. So guys, that creek right down there, actually Dobbin grade crosses it. Per my research, right now that was only supposed to be maybe 2 feet deep. Yeah guys, that actually was closer to 5 feet deep. I got to it, was looking at it, I was like, ah, that looks a lot deeper than it's supposed to be. I know at times during the year it's deeper, but I didn't think it was going to be that deep. And I took a rock and tossed into it, and yeah, it's 4.5, 5 feet deep, which I'm 5'7", 5'8". That would have been up to almost my neck. Yeah, no, I skipped it. Taking this route here, it's a little bit different than what I had planned, but it's fine. That's a massive incline I just went up, actually, and I'm still climbing a little bit. But this actually will take me back out to the forest road where the Jeep's parked. And I'm gonna hike it for about a 1/4 mile down to another trail. Not exactly what I'd planned, but I'm already, well, if you can take a look, I'm already wet and muddy. I didn't feel like soaking myself to my neck, especially with temperatures getting down to 40 or less tonight. And with the wind blowing, it's going to be even cooler. If you notice, the sun is trying to peek out though, so that's a plus right there. It's a pretty little area right through here too. Whole area is pretty. Just having not been here, you gotta explore and then you figure out what you like. It's kind of like certain things. The first time is not always the best. So basically I'm kind of in the process of just kind of scouting the area, and I can come back and have a better trip next time. Maybe get a trip where it's a little bit warmer too. If I'd have come out a week ago, it'd have been nice, but I may even considered that a week ago. But being really chilly, nah. And the bad thing is, it was warm the last couple of days. It's just, you know, this is the day I'm here on the second day, so yay. Well guys, I'm slowly making my way along this trail here. Wide out in the open right now. It's very, very windy. I hope you guys can hear me. I do have my mic on there, so I hope that's helping. Interesting development. I ran into a couple at the top of this hill that I just started down. They're camping there tonight, and I stopped talking to them for a second, like I always do, like, you know, hi, how you doing? And they were like, how long you been in? I said, well, I was here last night. And they said, have you heard the weather for tonight? I said, no, I listened to it last night and everything, but I hadn't heard anything about it since last night. And they said there is actually a freeze warning in effect for the area tonight. That's Davis, which is I think the closest town, and a couple other places, and of course that would include here. I mean, if it's going to be cold there, it's going to be cold anywhere up in here. And they said that they're talking possible temperatures down to about 32, 30, maybe even 30 degrees here. I'm not, I don't have the equipment for that. I've got a 40-degree sleeping bag, a wool hoodie, my pants, and a cotton pair of socks. So I've got to really, really contemplate what I'm going to do. I have some options. I mean, one, I could try to stay and tough it out. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that because, I mean, part of my clothes are actually even wet right now. They're drying, but I can't guarantee they'll be dry tonight. Two, I can go home, which will really stink because that cuts the trip from a 3-4 night trip down to a 1. But, you know, the weather's supposed to be like that tonight. One thing I'm going to do too here in a few minutes, I'm going to try to find a place for lunch and sit down and get my radio out and see what they're calling for weather tomorrow, because when I got here it was supposed to be colder tomorrow night than it is tonight, and if that's the case, I definitely can't stay 2 nights. So evidently I maybe the cold front is slowed down, or I don't know. It's just yeah, you know, talking about possibly getting down to freezing tonight. I don't have the equipment for that, so I may have to bail on Dolly Sods, guys. That really stinks because I've been wanting to come out here for years and everything, and literally the weather up until today, you know, you're talking mid 80s at night, upper, you know, mid 60s. So I had to pick the wrong time, I guess. And even per my, you know, looking at it when I left home, it wasn't supposed to be that cold. Like tonight, it was supposed to be in the mid 40s. Well, I mean, that's a 15-degree shift, but of course you can get that sometimes up in the mountains. So really, the only other option I would have is to sleep in the Jeep tonight and then maybe find another campsite tomorrow night. But that also goes to whether or not the weather is going to hold for tomorrow night, because I'm not sleeping in the Jeep 2 nights. So I don't know. Might be going home today, guys, which kind of stink because, like I said, one, I've been wanting to come out here for years. I mean, nothing else, I can always come back, and that's perfectly fine. But I don't know, these longer trips, you know, they're you know, 3-4 times a year if I'm lucky. can't do them once, you know, once a month or something. And I already have a couple of places scouted out for trips here in the next little bit before it gets to the cold winter months. And I'm probably going to continue with those, so I probably won't come back out here for a little while. But I mean, it's okay. I mean, I've definitely enjoyed what I've seen. If you can tell, I mean, it's a pretty day. Other than the wind and the temperature being very chilly, it's in the mid-50s right now. But I've enjoyed it. And I did get to do my 46 climbs over at Spruce Knob, so that was a plus. I mean, that's the main reason I drove out here. But guys, I'm going to continue on the path here, see if I can find a spot for lunch here in a minute, maybe somewhere it's a little bit sheltered out of this hard wind here. And I'll check that radio forecast. We'll see what we kind of determine we might do. So guys, I stopped and took a break right there at that little makeshift bench that somebody's made. And got me a little snack, filled up on a little bit of water, and did check the weather on my radio. It's in my little pouch right here on my chest. And yeah, it's supposed to be really cool tonight. There is a freeze warning. And tomorrow night, they're saying the temperature is going to be about the same, if not colder. So I'm not prepared. Unfortunately, Monday night, it's supposed to be really nice. I believe our low is supposed to be around 50. But unfortunately, the next two nights, it's about a 20 degree difference. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to bail, guys. Yeah, guys, I do apologize for not being able to do as many nights as I wanted to. Didn't get to share with you guys the whole area. Didn't even make it down to the southern area, which is supposed to be more forested. I just can't take a chance on camping in 30 degree weather without the right equipment. I mean, you know, could be not good. So yeah, I'm gonna head up this trail here. This takes me on up to the forest road. This will take me to the forest road 75. And I'll take a left onto the road there, and that'll take me over to the Jeep. And then I have about a 7.5 hour drive home. But it was okay to come out for the 46 climbs hike. And I got to at least experience part of Dolly Sods. Probably some of the worst of it, you know, as far as daubing grade. Got knee deep in the mud there. But I've actually enjoyed the trip. It's just, yeah. And the bad thing is it's clearing off to be a really pretty day. If it wasn't supposed to be so cold tonight, I'd definitely be staying. But I know I'd get in that tent, start getting really cold. 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, it'd be 30 degrees, and I'm wrapped up in a 40 degree sleeping bag. Even with a couple of layers, I'd still get cold. Because the first night when I was on Spruce Knob, I actually got chilly. And of course, I had a pair of shorts on then. But the temperatures were in the upper 40s there, so shifted another 15-20 degrees. I don't have the equipment. I actually almost brought my 30 degree sleeping bag. I wish I had of. You know, even people who have been doing this for a while make mistakes. You know, I've been backpacking for about 5.5 years now, and this is a big mistake because, you know, I drove 7.5 hours to get here, and I get an overnighter. I hate that. But I have enjoyed the area, so I will be coming back. Guess we'll call this a good scouting trip, a recon mission. And I kind of know where to go a little bit better now. Park at a different trailhead, come in a different way. Try to get 2 or 3 nights that trip at least. And make sure that I'm prepared for the weather. Well guys, I got the Jeep in sight, maybe a 1/10 of a mile and I'll be there. Figure go ahead and wrap up the video now. Kind of disappointing, having to go home, but that happens sometimes when the weather changes and you're ill prepared for it. If I'd have brought 2 different pieces of equipment, I'd have been fine. and they actually were on my mind, and I changed my mind at the last minute trying to save weight. Dum da dum dum dum. Oh well, I mean, you know, you take it as it is. Like I said, this is the end of the trip here at Dolly Sods. It's been enjoyable for as little as I've been here, the overnight trip here. Beautiful area, I do recommend it. A little bit harder on the elevation than some areas, but still very doable and quite a bit fun, and like I said, very beautiful. Was sheltered from the wind there for a second, that's why I recorded this. But anyway, guys, you know, if you did like the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe to the channel. It definitely helps us out. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, aggravation for me not being able to finish this trip, hit up the comment section down below. I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Thank you for watching. Always remember to live your grand adventure to the fullest. Until next time, guys, take care, my friends.